Carolina morning. And we're here in our garage. Mrs. Elpida,
Yes,
are you ready for our newest adventure?
always ready.
Fantastic.
Ooh, this thing's really going now. I love this little attachment. It definitely helps with distributing the warmth.
You want to tell them what it is?
It's a little fan attachment that goes on heaters of this nature, and I think you can even put it on like wood stoves as well.
You put it, anything generates heat.
Anything
That's
that
what use
generates-
batteries.
Right, it's convection, is that what it's called? So the heat rises here, runs the fan, and the fan pushes the heat out.
Well, actually, there is a motor that it is a convection motor. So the difference in temperatures generates electricity.
Okay.
So the heat doesn't turn the fan. It's
Okay.
actually a convection.
So I was totally wrong, but it's still turning the fan and it's still pushing the air out into our garage, warming us up, which is the point.
You were not totally wrong. It's a convection motor.
Okay.
It is not that the convection turns the fan.
Okay.
So it's beginning to look a lot like Christmas. Definitely, it begins to feel a lot like Christmas. I don't know if it looks like Christmas, but it feels like Christmas.
It feels like it.
So today we decided to build something that doesn't seem Christmas-like, but it is. It is a gift that one of our family members have requested, and we decided instead of buying it, to build it. So stick around. We're going to tell you what it is, and we're going to, as always, show you every step of the way so you can. So for two reasons: one, this is a gift, and two, it is a finished product, right? We are not going to our 2-buy or 1-buy normal choices. We're buying better quality boards, and we are going to finish this as well, right? Now this is a 4 times 4 material, which means it's sanded and planed, which requires less processing after we assemble it. But I'm sure we are the channel of sanding, so we're sure we're going to end up sanding the finished board.
Well, we'll maybe have to take some of the hairs off the cut
edges,
it.
yeah.
The
When you
cut
cut it,
it.
you disrupt that smoothness, and so that would be the finishing required.
I'm sure we have to pay.
Okay.
With our material procured, we are heading back to the shop to commence the building. Now, we routinely get things from Lowe's, and we have done that for a while. We're not sponsored from Lowe's, but we are a Lowe's content something rather. I'll find it and I will tell you. An influencer, I don't know what they call us.
Affiliate?
Well, I'm not an affiliate, I don't make money, but
Contributor?
no, I don't remember.
They have a special word for it.
Yeah, they have something really special, and we are that, like, we are a creator approved or supported, I don't know what the term is. We are something, and I wanted in full disclosure to tell you, and of course I didn't tell you because I don't know what it is, but
You'll flash it on the screen for them.
maybe. So, while Christmas is not about gifts, it's about the feelings and the religious celebration, of course, gifts are part of the tradition, right? Our culture. So today we are going to build something that a family member wants for their space, and we're going to build it to their specifications, right? If I was building it myself, I would build it a little different. What do you think, Mrs. DIY?
You mean by yourself or for yourself?
For myself, or just build it?
Yeah, you would build it to your own taste, but this is something that has, been requested, and we're going to try to give him better than what he
One
has.
of the things when you do not build something but for yourself, or for an example of how to build it, but giving it for a gift as we do, is that you need to respect their desires, right? What they want. I really would have loved to build that piece out of this, and I think would be an awesome mini bookcase using this cedar material, right? But our son wants something a little bigger, depth-wise.
Right. So the depth of this is like 7.5, 7-ish.
This is 5.5.
But I mean for our piece that we built today, but these are only 5.5 inches wide.
Yeah.
And these are boards from last week's project, but we just found them too beautiful to cut them up and make them into slats.
But that will make a nice little bookcase.
Yeah, they sure would.
Well, what was requested was from a retail store, and we just took the picture of it and we're going to make it a better version. Instead of not ply, what they call OSB boards and
OSB or particle board.
and particle boards, we're going to make a solid wood. And we did purchase a nice piece of wood, right? We did not go to our normal denominators of 1x or 2x. So stick around. As always, we're going to send you every one of the steps. Well, let's try that. So stick around. As always, we're going to show you every step of the way, and you are still my favorite viewer. North Carolina is very cold this winter, and we are using our little heater here virtually every weekend to keep ourselves toasty while we're working. Last weekend, the project was too long, so we didn't have the time to clean after we finish like we usually do. However, for precision and accuracy, it is always a great idea to clean your equipment because you use it. Sawdust can be slippery and also can knock your material off and give you the wrong dimensions. Using a 1x8 feet board, and this is a remnant, right, of our board, we are going to build this wonderful mini bookcase display case. What we're going to call this?
Well, it's a desktop bookcase.
Okay. So we're going to show you every step of the way, and please stick around. This is going to be a very fun episode. In this episode, you're going to see us using one of the two items we are going to give away in the end of the year, which is this Pro Tape. That's what it's called, that's the brand. We're not sponsored. I just found this tape and I thought it was very neat, and I bought 3. 1 of me and 2 for you guys because we love you, right? So we're going to give 2 away and potentially a couple of more things if I find them before the giveaway happens, but stay posted. In order to be able to go for the drawing, you need to be a member of the channel, a subscriber. You need to leave a like and also a comment in any video between now and the end of the year.
So to get us started, we need 2 pieces that are 16 inches and 1 piece that is 16 and a half.
So for the 16-inch pieces, we're going to cut the first and then we're going to cut the other identical. Again, this is not critical, it is right spot on, but it is important they're the same dimension. I think that's pretty right on, spot on. Right?
Looks like it to me.
All right.
No, you locked it. Gotta keep
Because
it.
it's supposed to be locked. When
I
you
know,
use it.
I know. There we go. And now we'll use this piece to cut the second piece. Oops, sorry for the shaky camera work there. Lined up.
Is it there, babe?
There we go. Take the top one off.
Take the.
I'm waiting. I wanted to make sure you were still holding it. There you go.
So now we need to make sure we have the correct dimension for a piece that will become a shelf, right? This is our bottom. This is our 2 sides, and the reason we put them here is we align them on the side. You might want to come here, Miss Alpida. We align them on the side here to make the thickness. So now we're going to, all we have to do is measure from that point to the end, what Mrs. DIY said, doing.
Yep.
And then we are going to cut, what is that?
14 3/4.
14 3/4. That way we accounted for both the thicknesses of this board. And now we're going to start assembly. So we're going to assemble the 2 sides.
And so just to speak to this a little more clearly is that this is the bottom. The two sides are going to sit on top. So we wanted that dimension that's in between those two pieces. And that's what that 14 3/4 is going to be. And that is what's going to be our top shelf.
Okay, so now we're going to attach this.
Okay.
So we're going to use our favorite red clamps to hold the angle to 45. And then we're going to start by screwing the bottom first, because the top will be correctly clamped. And then the top. And we're using again our favorite small head finish screws because they are not very visible. And since we're going to stain this piece, they will really disappear.
We can do the top, and if we have to adjust, we can.
Pilot holes are a good idea. While they do not guarantee that you will have no split, they actually minimize the likelihood. Excellent. Now we're going to do the same on the other side. Or you want to finish this side?
Yeah, we should finish this side. Hold on a second. I'm gonna bring this one in. If you can tighten that up a little bit, or if you just want me to hold it, I will.
This one or this one?
This one. Okay. And I'll keep holding it.
And we are all in great proximity to the big body because cold. One of the other advantages of using pilot holes is that
Gotta go.
you can't now, it is done. If you need to, you can use a clamp to ensure the alignment is correct. So we're doing a very, very rough fitting to see how it looks to us. We want about 1.5 inches to 2 inches reveal on the top. So if you put any books or something that will not fall. And then we're measuring what we have remaining here. And in our case, it's 13.5. So our next board will be cut to 13.5. We have not attached the rest of the pieces, and we're going to make the interior first because that will allow us to easily screw this, right?
Yeah.
So now we need to make the last cut, which is the distance between here and here. It should be the same distance, right?
Should be. If we did it right.
You don't need any.
We're just putting the clamps here so we can
No,
properly.
you don't need them. No,
So we can properly measure this because this is popping out.
we don't need them.
Okay.
If you want to close it, close it. But
I will close it.
okay.
All right, Kim, you can adjust to make sure that that is tight.
So we're using our middle finder tape again, which has become very handy. And do you want to make marks there? Okay. And we're going to make a couple of marks. You can actually make 2 marks.
If you want to move that clamp, you can to get it out of the
I
way.
just want that shut.
You can make 2 marks, right and left of the board. Okay. And our last cut is 7 inches. You going to make it?
She's gonna measure it for me and then I will make it.
Again, you don't have to have a miter saw to make these cuts. You can even make them by hand. So we're looking from the top. This is our top, right? We are going to start by attaching this piece to this piece because this is just making it harder for us, right? And we have the tool that we can do this, but not everyone does.
Right.
So it's easier to attach this piece to this piece first. And then we're going to bring it here, attach it to the bottom, attach the top, and the assembly will
And
be done.
this side.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we used our heat trick to remove the label, and that worked very nicely.
There's just a tad bit of residue of the glue here. So
And because we plan to stain this piece, we need to make sure there is nothing that will prevent the stain from working.
Right.
So a little bit of sanding. Again, as I said, we like sanding anyway. A little bit of sanding is going a long way. Aligning our two pieces. And we'll try to keep them together. Make sure you're in a flat surface. And we probably need, after we put the first screw, make sure that we are square, right? Are we square? The other way is easier, so you don't have
This
the
way?
lip. Yeah. Looks square. Let's attach the first screw and then we can square it if it is not. Can you move it around?
Where are we attaching the first screw? The bottom?
No, I wanted it on the top, but we have the clamp.
That's what I'm trying to figure
So
out.
try the middle, honey. You think you can find the middle? Because our clamp, we start the first screw in the middle because it will allow us to make it square if it isn't. It looks pretty square right now, but just in cases, right? Okay, now if you want to take it more towards here, we can make sure it's square and we can do the bottom.
Seems square to me.
Okay? You want the square outside to make sure you're in the right spot. And as you can see, we're perfectly square there. And now we're going to turn it over. We have the middle one, we have this. We're going to make sure it's square on the other side and tighten it up. So now we have our, in essence, what it is, the middle and the shelf done. And we are going to install it in the main carcass, and then the last piece will be the top piece. So we're ready for the top, and as you can see, this would have been difficult to attach if we have done that the other way around, right? Attaching the top. So we're ready to attach the top, and we're going to start with attaching this side, and then close it, okay? So this is the finished assembly process, and at that point you decide how you want to finish it, right? If you want to stain it, if you want to sooty bang it, if you want to paint it, or leave it natural. In our case, the person that wants it painted. Stained. So we're going to put a dark stain on it, but boy, we have egg on our face. This actually would have been a good thing if we had it on both sides. A nice little ledge, right?
Sure.
But it was a mistake. We have to fix the final finish of the piece, which again will be a dark stain. A quick power sanding takes care of any small imperfections, any small lips that might exist between the two pieces, and makes them absolutely perfect. Plus, if there is any residue or anything else that might cause problems with the staining, takes care of that as well. We did not glue these pieces, but if we had glued them, that would have taken of any glue squeeze out. Rounding over the top corners make the piece look softer, avoid any possibility of even small injury, and it is extremely easy with a power sander as you see here. You do not need very fancy tools to make roundovers, and we clearly show you here that just by using a random orbital sander, you can make a very nice roundover that gives your piece elegance and makes it look much more expensive and much more complicated than it really is. A little bit of dusting, or if you have a tack cloth, we'll do the same thing to remove the dust particles from your piece. So we have set our state-of-the-art staining station again, which is a drop cloth over our table saw. Because no expense is spared in our channel.
And today we're also using the little orange triangles to help elevate it so that we don't get it directly onto the tarp. Make it easier for you to reach what you need.
So we're going to spend some time with the stain. And if you just saw the first part of staining, I always like.
And this goes on like silk in this very, more dense and more refined piece of wood.
Now the refining channel. So while we're finishing the piece, what was the hardest part of this build? I will go first for a change. Measuring. That caused us problems, right? That's why we don't like measuring this channel. It end up with a little misalignment. But in all seriousness, what is the hardest part, you think?
I do think, it seems pretty straightforward. But when you're doing different pieces, you have to remember to affix or secure the pieces that are going to be inside, so you don't have to maneuver with your big tools when you're getting into a small crevice like this. So be strategic about how you choose to put your pieces together, and make sure that all your pieces are very, very square. Especially with a piece like this, that it's going to be very obvious. It's a small piece. You're going to see some, errors in not being square. You're going to have some slanted, shelves, etc.
Like the very first one we did back in Kansas. Remember that?
Do not disparage the Dr. Seuss shelf.
Well, I don't. We used it for many a year without difficulty. But it was not square anywhere.
That's because we were squaring it, but squaring it on the... Actually, we were using a level, and we were using it on the garage floor that was not level.
Because before we knew details like that.
Yeah.
Easy, advanced, or intermediate build?
What do you think, Mrs. DIY?
Well, I want to say easy, but it can be deceiving.
Yeah. You definitely have to be careful, right?
Yeah.
And follow the steps we showed you. And we didn't show you, but the mistake we have with one of the measurements was fairly easy to correct by using your table saw or even a hand saw.
Yep.
It was not a catastrophic error. Now, there are many techniques to apply stain. Mrs. DIY had very good results with using a soap cloth. But you can use a roller, you can use a brush.
A sponge, some people like.
Yeah.
putting on the first coat of poly. We want this to be shiny and protected. It's going to be on a desk and it's going to be utilized, so we just want to make sure that we protect the finish.
So how many coats you usually put?
Usually 2. It depends. If it's a piece that you're going to interact with a lot, I'll probably put 3 coats of poly on it. Like a desk, for example, or a bookshelf that'll have a lot of friction on it.
We can put some felt feet on it if you want.
Mm-hmm. Felt feet?
Yeah, felt feet.
Felt feet, okay.
And poly, in addition to protecting the piece, also provides a little bit of a sheen.
Yeah, depending on what kind you use. The kind I like the most is a clear gloss. And we're not sponsored by Minwax, but I do like this product. It served me very well.
I find it interesting that it's very milky, but then it dries totally clear.
Right. The good part about the milkiness is you can see where you've been,
Yeah.
especially on a dark piece.
So we always tell you how much things cost us, right? On this one, as you can see, we bought very good quality board. And actually, I'm a little disappointed because this was a $28 board. And while it was surfaced 4x4, what it was not is very flat. It had actually a bow. This piece doesn't.
Some
But
cupping?
Cupping, yeah. Bow, cupping is the same thing, right?
Okay, I'm just asking.
Bowing, cupping. So, because it is a gift and because it will be a display piece, we spend a little bit more money. Can you make it cheaper? Absolutely. You can make it with a 2x8, and this will be about $8, or you can do it with a couple of pickets, and that will be exactly the same price. So you can do it for under $10. We chose to buy more expensive wood, and that is true with every project, right? You can spend a lot of money on wood or you cannot. You could make this for $100. We could have bought mahogany,
Right.
right? I mean, so when people talk about price, if you buy that on Amazon, at Walmart, at IKEA, it will be particle board. It will not be solid wood. And probably you will spend about the same amount of money. Just under $30, right?
Right. Now, are you going to include the cost of the hardware that you bought as well, or not?
Well, not really, because we didn't use all of them. We use screws, and you can use any screws you have. I mean, we like those very small head screws.
They're called finish.
But you can use nails. You can make it inexpensively. In fact, you can use dowels and use
We
nothing.
could have used brad nails.
Yeah, I mean, these will hold small books and knickknacks, I'm sure. So you don't need tremendous strength. We way overbuild it, actually. In all honesty, this is going to last him forever. So you can build it for less than $10. We build it for less than $30. It is only a straight cut project. Again, you can build it with virtually any saw, even a hand saw. No complicated joinery. Could you make it more complicated? Of course. You can use more complicated joinery. I'm not a fan for it because it doesn't really do much of anything. It complicates the project unnecessarily. Baby, it's cold outside, but it's nice and toasty in the garage thanks to our big buddy from Mr. Heater. Not a sponsored placement here, just we have used it for many years, and may I dare say we have abused it for many years.
But it's kept us warm for quite some time.
Yep, in the old house, old house, So this is our end product. And it is exactly what we were asked to build. Now we need to put a bow on it and, wrap it. And as always, you can see this can be scaled up or down. And again, you can see most of woodworking is building boxes.
Yep.
This is boxes within a box, but it is the same principle. Build boxes and you have a beautiful desktop bookcase. Can you put some ornaments here and things? Absolutely, right?
Mm-hmm.
And by changing colors, you can make it more playful for a child's room.
Yeah.
Or you can leave it natural to fit your decor better. We chose to use a stain because that's what it was asked of us. If you enjoyed this episode, please give us a thumbs up. If you didn't, hit the other button twice. Share, like, subscribe. Let us know you like small episodes like this so we can make more for you. From Professor DIY, Mrs. DIY and Elpida, Merry Christmas everyone.